Hello and welcome back to my next video. Unfortunately, today I'm going to be talking about something a little poignant, and I feel like this is a video that has to be made. And big part of that is because this video is going to be about someone who is no longer with us, and someone who I, as a professional animal trainer and animal wrangler, owe a debt of gratitude to. And a big part, I wouldn't be able to do a lot of the things I do had it not been for this man. And who am I talking about? This past week, Jim Fowler of Mutual of Omaha's has passed away. He was 89 years old, and very sad because he was just a remarkable person. In the past couple of years, I got to know Jim and his family very well. I volunteer my time for a school in upstate New York called Green Chimneys, and they do a big event every year, and Jim Fowler was there every year. So I got to do a little bit of a stage show with him and do some things with my animals with him, and he was just a cordial, nice, and intelligent man. He was qualified to be doing what he did. And if I look down, it's because I put some notes on my phone. I usually don't work off of the script, but this was such an important topic. I really don't want to leave anything about this man, okay? If you don't know who Jim Fowler was a zoologist, okay, who worked with many animals. He had a fascinating life. He turned out, first of all, he was born in Georgia in 1930, and he was solicited to become a baseball player by the New York Yankees. He turned it down because he loved animals so much and wanted to pursue a career working with animals and wanted to get graduate degrees working with animals, and ended up working as a zookeeper. And we did graduate work and research papers on the harpy eagle. It's very ironic because his name was Fowler, and birds were his thing. He knew everything about birds. And he was the co-host of Mutual of Wild Kingdom, okay, and with Marlon Perkins, okay, who he co-hosted that show with. For 30 years, okay, long time, all right, incredible. And he did that with Marlon Perkins, and he became the full-time host of that show in 1986, and just incredible. Not only did he do Mutual of Omaha, he was also on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. He set the standard for bringing animals on TV. We think of this as just something that TV shows do, late night talk shows do. They bring on an animal person like myself, not like me, like real animal people on, like Jeff Corwin or Jack Hanna or Jim Fowler. But he's the one who started doing that, okay? It's because Jim Fowler started doing that we think of this as a genre of late night talk show. So he brought animals on. He was with Johnny Carson. He was the guy. He did it for so many years, it became a satire on an episode of Seinfeld. If you remember the episode of Seinfeld, people my generation and older, younger kids don't know, young people don't know, young people younger than me don't know what Seinfeld is, but there's an episode where Kramer pretends to be Merv Griffin and invites Jim Fowler on the show, and hilarious. He did a cameo on Seinfeld. It was I don't even know if it's on YouTube. I really hope it's on YouTube. If someone could find that clip and put a link in the comments, I'd owe you a debt of gratitude. If you could find it, it's hilarious. So he did that, and after Johnny Carson, he was the animal guy for Conan O'Brien. Just an incredible man. And he knew his stuff. He didn't have a script. He didn't have somebody whispering in his ear in the wings. If you gave him an animal, if someone like me was supplying him an animal for a TV show, he knew everything about the animal. He knew. And up until the day he died, he was sharp as a tack. He was with it up until he died. So he did all these late night talk shows. The reason I'm so impressed by him and so amazed by him, he was the mentor of many of my mentors, the people who taught me everything I know about animals and about the animal industry was taught to them by Jim Fowler. Jim Fowler brought them under their wing, and Jim Fowler taught my mentors everything they know. My mentors took me under their wing. So I'm like riding on the shoulders of giants. People like Mark Marone, who is the animal wrangler, animal trainer, animal guy for the Martha Stewart shows for like 20 years. That's my mentor. Who is his mentor? Jim Fowler. I'm hoping to do videos with him, hoping I could get him on one of these videos one day soon. My mentor, Jonathan Wood, who's a master falconer, the only full-time master falconer in the United States. He owns the Trump Eagle, which is with Donald Trump, and it's the most photographed eagle in the world, bald eagle. Who was his mentor? Jim Fowler. So I'm also going to do a video with him. He'll be on it soon. So how did I get to know Jim Fowler? Like I said, I started volunteering my time for this school, Green Chimneys. They do a big event every year. I'm going to plug it. This year it's going to be June 2nd, 2019. If you're in the New York or tri-state area, if you're in northern New Jersey, Connecticut, Long Island, Westchester, New York, Manhattan, it's a very short ride. It's in Brewster, which is right on the border of Westchester and I believe Putnam County or Orange County. But it's within a day's drive, few hours, 2 hours, 3 hours tops, no matter where you're coming from, any of those places I listed. And they do a big thing. They do great work for children that come from troubled backgrounds, that live in urban areas, and they combine children with animals. Jim Fowler also donated his time for many, many years to this organization without being paid a penny. So that's how I got in contact with Jim Fowler. And I saw him every year the past 7 or 8 years. Every year I went to this thing and saw him. This will be the first year he won't be there, which it's going to be very sad and very hard, but it's going to happen. We're going to have a good time. And I know Jim will be with us in spirit. Just a loss. Just a loss. Very sad. He taught many people many things. Just a kind man. If we could all strive to be as good at our job as Jim Fowler was, as kind to people as Jim Fowler was, the world would be a much better place. He did many good things for animals, for the wildlife community, for the captive animal community. If I didn't have I couldn't have this channel without Jim Fowler. So I hope he rests in peace. I hope if you didn't know who Jim Fowler was, I was able to tell you a little bit more about his life. I encourage you to research it more on Wikipedia or Google and find out who this man was. I know he was before my generation, before a lot of generations watching this. So I won't babble on. So I just wanted to pay a little tribute to a mentor of my mentors, Jim Fowler. All right, so I hope you enjoy your day. I hope you enjoy all of the animals and all of the people in your life.